Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to learn different perspective of morning glory flowers. It's the time of September and September's birth flower is morning glory. I'm going to use the gel pen and the pencils to draw today's perspective, but if you don't have any gel pen or anything like that, you can simply use normal pencil or a ball pen. It's totally fine. Now let's start with the flower birds. So basically we can create the flower birds in two different types. The first one is little bit closed one, and the second one is also a flower bird only but little bit in a open state, like this one is about to bloom. So this one is more open as compared to the first one. So basically the tip of the flower is different. It has little bit open structure, and the first one is totally an oval shape. Now create some bifurcations of the petals in it. So it should look like this is about to bloom. We can see the petals colors and all those things, and the petals are totally closed. Then you can create the base of the flower and the stem. Now for this particular one we are repeating the same thing, but this time we are creating the petals area. The bifurcation of the petals are a little bit open state, so we are not creating the petal in just inside the oval shape, but also we are going outside the oval shape. So this one is pretty closed one, this one is little bit open. Now let's trace everything with the help of pen. So I'm quickly tracing everything with the help of gel pen so that you can see things clearly, and I'm going to repeat all these things throughout my perspective. So if at all you're not able to see the pencil structure, don't worry about it. Anyways, we are going to trace everything with the help of pen, and then remove all the unwanted pencil mark. And now you can do a little bit of shading around your flowers. So in the petal area wherein we can see the bifurcation of the petal, I'm adding some extra structure or element to do some shading. So you can do some contouring process or cross contouring process. It's totally fine how you like to shade your flowers and birds. It's totally up to you. You can do a little bit of hatching mechanism here. So hatching is like creating a parallel lines around the area, or you can also add little bits of dots around it to make dark shade and light shade, but I like to do contouring, so that's why I'm creating parallel lines and cross parallel lines to create something like this. So we are done with the flower birds. Now let's start with the flower. So this flower is bloomed but not fully. So basically we can see the lower portion of the flower as well. So this structure is more like a triangle kind of structure, and wherein we have one oval shape, not very thick but thin oval shape, and then divide this into multiple petals. For the morning glory we can see the division of the petal, but all the petals are attached with each other. So do not create the petals separated from each other, it should be intact. And for the petals I'm creating these kind of structure and dividing it into multiple bifurcation. Now you can add sepals. Either you can add one sepal and a base structure, or you can add multiple green elements like this. It's also fine to do something like this, and then you can create stem. Now we are done with the basic shape. We can trace everything with the help of pen. While tracing things with the help of pen, you can do little modification wherever you feel like you have not done enough with the help of pencil. And then we can do a little bit of cross contouring in the sepal area I'm also adding more lines and dots around the bifurcation of the petals lines, and you can also add little bit of shading and hatching process around the flower as well. So whenever I use pen with the very soft hand, I like to do some shading like this, but it would be easier for you if you are using a graphite pencil. Then it's very easy to do these kind of shading, is what I believe. We are done with the flower birds and the half bloomed flower. Now let's learn how we can draw leaf also. So you can create a basic heart shape in any direction. For now I have created something like this, and then add vines. These are the leaf vines which we can see around the leaf area. And then the edges, I don't want a smooth edge, so that's why I'm just moving my pencil a smooth zigzag kind of pattern, and then more vines in between. And you can also subdivide your vines into multiple section and then create a stem. So very basic leaf in a heart kind of shape, and then you can trace everything with the help of pen like we are doing for the other structure as well. You can remove all the unwanted pencil mark once you get the basic structure, and then you can do some hatching process, contouring process, all those things to add more shades into your structure. So if you are using pen, you can do some contouring process around the leaf area and the flower area to add some shades into your structure. So for the one part, I'm doing some cross hatching process for the leaves, so that you can see how we can actually sketch our leaves. And then for the second area, I want to keep it like that only, so keep it simple, or you can do some cross hatching process. But to be frank, let's do it with the help of graphite pencil. So I'm just adding a little bit of shades inside around the line, the middle line. So with this very soft hand, you can do lines like this, and then just simply rub it with the soft hand, and you will get a very defined shades around the leaf. And same thing you can do for the flower as well. So let's do for these as well. So I'm sketching at the base area, and then I'm rubbing it with the soft hand so that you can see the shades around the flower as well. And that's how you can get the shadings, dark shade and light shades, easily with the help of pencil as compared to the pen. So I'm repeating the same thing for the flower birds as well, not doing anything fancy, but just trying to blend it to get more shades into your structure. Now we are done with the flower birds, flowers and the leaves. Now let's learn the different perspective of the flower. So now you cannot see the base of the area because we are seeing the flower from the front, so we can see the petal area, but we are not seeing the lower portion of the flower, the conical shape of the flower. So I have created 3 circles just to show you different perspective of the flower when you are seeing the flower from front. Now divide it into 4 equal quarters to get the center of the flower. You can do these things approximately as well, but it's easy to do something like this. So for the first one, I'm keeping the center as a center part of the flower. For the second one, I'm keeping it little bit lower from the center, somewhere around here. And for the third one, I'm keeping it in this particular towards the upper left side. Now let's start drawing petals. We don't need any dots for the center part of the flower, so just keep everything open. Add lines to divide the structure into the multiple section, and then like we did for the previous flower, add the edges like this. middle section should not be connected with each other, so rub the middle area. For now, let's repeat the same thing for these two as well. Because the center part is different, so we are going to create two petals little smaller as compared to the other, but these are not separated petals, these are closely attached to each other. So we can say like these are connected with each other. We can see little bit bifurcation of the petals, but all are closely attached with each other. Now this is the center part of the flower, so add lines until this particular area. Now repeat the same thing for this one as well. This time the center part of the flower is towards the upper left side, so create lines until there. Do not attach line together. Let me divide this into two petals. This would look better. Okay, now as you can see, because of this center part, we can see the total different perspective of the flower. All three flowers are facing towards you, but little bit tilted towards this side and that side, and that's why it has totally different perspective. And the only difference is where we are defining our center part of the flower. And likewise you can create many different perspective. Now let's rub the unwanted pencil mark for now, and now we can do little bit of extra detailing and shading for these flowers as well. So for the bifurcation of the petals, I'm adding two lines instead of only one, and then you can repeat the same thing for all three. I'm going to show you everything in detail for one flower, and then we are going to repeat the same thing for rest of the flower. I'm also adding lines like this around each bifurcation of the petals. I'm doing it with the help of pen itself. You can do these things with the help of pencil, it's totally fine, but I like to do these things with the help of pen first. And then for the extra shading, I'm using graphite pencil so that we can shade the whole petal area with these pencil structures. So you will get some light shade, some dark shade, and then just rub everything with the soft hand so that you will get the shades throughout your flower. And then you can do some extra sketching around the center part of the flower and see how beautiful this one is. Now we are going to repeat the same thing for the rest too. Keep the center part little brighter as compared to the other area, and attach all the lines in the circle. Do not attach lines with each other. Create a smaller circle in the center and then attach all the lines together like this one. Create lines in the petal area and then do some sketching like we did for the first one. And see, these three perspectives are totally different from each other, and very simple process and same kind of process we need to do for drawing all these things. Now let's create two more perspectives wherein we can see the lower section of the flower as well. So for the first one, I'm creating a round shape, and for the second one, I'm creating an oval kind of shape. So this one is more tilted towards the right side, so that's why I'm keeping the center part towards the left side. So create two petals. Because of the center part, these two petals are smaller, and then create three more, which is little bigger as compared to the previous two. Now do not attach the line like discussed, and create the lower portion like this. And same thing we are going to repeat for this particular one as well. And the center part is the center of the oval shape only. Create 5 to 6 petals. This should not be individual petals. These petals are attached with each other. and then you can create the sepals and the base area of the flower. Then you can create lines in between the petal area, and then you can do little bit of shading like we did for the rest other flowers. For the base area, I'm doing some cross contouring to add some extra effect. I'm repeating the same thing for the second flower as well, and little bit of cross contouring at the sepal area as well. Now see, these two flower perspective is totally different than the previous three flowers, and then with the help of pencil you can do little bit of extra shading. For the upper three petals, I'm doing shading from inside to outside, and with the soft hand spreading the pencil mark so that it will shade the whole flower structure. And then for the two petals, I'm going from outside to inside, and you can see how beautiful it is. So something like this you can do while drawing, but if you are drawing it for watercolor painting, you can simply draw all these things, compose your own flowers, and then you can paint with whatever medium you like to, like acrylic, watercolor, or watercolor pencil. Do some extra detailing if needed until you will get satisfied. Add shadings around your flowers, and we are done with all the perspective. We are done with the leaves, half bloom flower, fully bloomed flower, in different direction, different angle, two different kind of flower birds. So hope you have liked this video, and do let me know if you guys have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.